Welcome to T-Smack, home of the T-Smack. May I take your order?
Hey there, hi there, hello there. Welcome to an all-new episode of Talking Smack, where we talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and so much more. I am your host, Josh Scar, and joining me as always is my co-host, El Gato Grande. El Gato, how are you doing today?
AI.
AI be with you.
Yes. I have a DraftKings bet going on right now, if you don't mind. I'm going to use the Backstreet Boys for some crypto, while also using them for some T-Mobile, if you don't mind.
And don't forget, we've got to de-age ourselves as well to look like we did in the 90s, which I don't know if the deepfakes have gotten that good yet.
Oh, the thing about me being like de-aging me to look like I was in the 90s, it'd be like trying any movie post 1991 with Bruce Willis being young, a bad wig.
Or Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh yeah, I started going bald when I was like 16. So, I mean, you try putting a little hair on that, it's like a little weird.
A buddy of mine went bald when I think he was 15, 14. I think it was his sophomore year of high school. He went bald. He just went, fuck it, and getting rid of it all. He just didn't bother.
It started like the top of my head, the little keepa spot, the thing. And then, and that kind of, and then it started thinning the top. Then eventually the sides started receding. And I think I was 22. And I asked her one day, I was like, the hairstylist was like, is there anything that can be done here with the wispies on top and everything? And she went, you should just stop coming to me and just shave your head. And that's what I did. I picked up a little razor.
That's a day I'm dreading. Like I've always had pretty okay hair. It's starting to fade a little bit on the sides,
Nope.
but
Distinguished. Mm-hmm. You can shape that into a widow's peak easy.
No, that's the part that's fading more. It's getting so much more thin there.
Yeah. Slightly coiffed forward, and it's fine. You gotta bring back your Clark Kent curl.
I'm going for like the Jean Ralphio. I'm going for height, like Conan and Jean Ralphio. That's what I want is the volume.
Or you know what? You could just do the Guy Fieri thing and just spikes.
I mean, that's going to make me lose my hair more with all that product. Man, I think yesterday legitimately made me sick. I've been so worn out all day today, and I'm like, I don't even know if I have the energy to podcast, but we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens here. But two guys that always have the energy and two guys that always bring their A game. We're going to hear from Dan and Dan over at Gaming Views, and when we come back, we're going to talk some superb owl trailers. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the trailer for Gaming Views. Think of it as the demo level before the real action kicks off.
We're Dan, and every week we're bringing hot takes, breaking news, deep dives, and everything gaming related.
From the biggest headlines to retro classics, hardware breakdowns, and inside scoops on developers, we cover it all.
So level up your gaming knowledge, subscribe to Gaming Views wherever you get your podcasts, and don't miss out.
Wow, no reaction to me techno dancing? Were you even looking at me? Or are you just looking at different things on your screens that aren't me?
I am just staring into the abyss. That's how I felt watching that game yesterday.
I was legitimately dancing. I was doing Vogue. I was doing like some techno dances with my hands and doing one of these things. And you're just spacing off into the darkness.
Hey, you got the magic fingers going. Magic finger.
Not even jazz hands. Just like we're grinding over the gear.
And now we're starting over.
So yesterday was the Superb Owl. The Seattle Chicken Hawks have defeated the New England Grumpy Pants. And I'm okay with that because Robert Kraft can go suck an egg with his donations to the Big Cheeto Man.
I was just impressed that I was looking at the score and I'm like, wow, where's Darth Hoodie? Oh, that's right. He was fired. Oh,
He was setting up the tripods for next season.
Oh, yeah, it got to be. Like
He was videotaping other teams and cheating. That's the joke there, people.
Where's the Gronk? Oh, that's right. He's like retired and doing guest spots on random
Doing
TV
USAA
shows.
commercials, even though he's not a military veteran.
Yep.
Tom Brady's getting some more plastic surgery and looking like he was computer generated into a Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
Weird. Tom Brady's starting to look weird. Like there's something going on there that's
I think was it the 2007 season where they went undefeated until they lost? No, it wasn't 2007. It was 2011. No, that was the Packers.
I think it was 2007 actually. That sounds
Yeah,
about right.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2007. That was Brett Favre's last year with Green Bay, and the Giants beat him in the championship game. And then they went on to play the undefeated Patriots. I think that's the season that broke Tom Brady. Like that's when he stopped looking normal.
Yeah. And now if he and Nicole Kidman switch places, I would not be surprised. There's just that uncanny valley of tautness and like no facial expressions that is really starting to get to me.
Well, he does have the more defined cleft chin. He's got that like chin implant. Like he almost looks like the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents. Like that's what he's got going on.
Yeah.
Not quite Jay Leno, who was the voice of the Crimson Chin, but it's pretty close.
Yeah. So this is my rant. The game was incredibly boring.
It was all downhill after Green Day.
Yeah. 3-0 at first quarter. I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. But a little after halftime, when the Chicken Hawks were up basically 12-0, I was like, has a kicker ever been named the MVP? And so we looked it up, and all of a sudden there were articles on ESPN and the Atlantic.
Oh, they had AI write those up quick,
right?
Because there's
everywhere.
A real opportunity there.
And so the fourth quarter started. It was still 12-zip, and the whole pop-up thing came up, and the commercials were terrible, and there was hardly anything worth talking about in terms of movie news and stuff. So we went to go vote because it's like, you know what? We're so bored. Let's vote for Jason Myers. He wasn't listed.
Of course not. Why would the kicker be nominated, even though he set a record for most points in a Super Bowl and most points in a season?
Yeah. So we're scrolling through, and it's like they list the safeties and defensive ends and, of course, the quarterback and all that stuff. He's not there. We're like, that's kind of weird. So we refreshed a few times, tried a different browser. He's just not there. So I was like, well, we're not voting for the quarterback because he's doing terrible. I mean, he hasn't thrown a touchdown and is like completing less than half of his completions. The running back hasn't scored anything. It's literally 12-0. It's the kicker who's doing everything, kicking from 45, 50 yards. So apparently people were tweeting and Facebooking and the TikToking, the red booking, all that stuff to the NFL. Like, hey, why isn't the kicker listed? So they added them like midway through the fourth quarter. After everybody at the bottom of the screen, it's not even formatted correctly because they didn't include the kicker for the Patriots. They just tagged him right at the bottom of the little box. There he is.
So a little bit of Super Bowl trivia for you. Obviously, no, a kicker has never been named MVP, although yesterday was probably the best case you'd ever see for one. The only specialist to ever win an MVP, in NFL terms, specialist meaning people who do not play offense or defense, just specifically special teams. The only specialist to ever win an MVP is Super Bowl 31, Desmond Howard. Green Bay Packers.
That makes sense. Yep. So we started voting for him because you can vote as many times as you want. Eventually, they shuffled him towards like the middle of the grouping. I don't know if it was based off of like
they were trying to hide him because they didn't want a specialist to win again.
Yep. But it ended, and everything they closed the voting, everything happened, and we're sitting up there. We're like, well, we know they're not going to give it to him, but hey, at least we did our part for like 20 minutes. As the refs try to insert themselves into the game in the last 5 minutes by suddenly calling everything after the game's over. Yeah, they gave it to a running back who got 135 yards total off of 27 carries, so an average of 5 yards.
That's a good day. That's a good day at the office. And for what they didn't do on offense, I think that was the only thing they could do. The defense, it would be really hard to pick just one guy.
Yeah, they could have just given it to the damn kicker who scored 17 of their 19 points.
They should have. Yes, they should have. Just like James White should have won the Super Bowl MVP the year the Patriots had that 28-3 comeback, but they gave it to Tom Brady because reasons. But James White set a Super Bowl record with 4 touchdowns in that game, and I think he set a record for most yards from scrimmage. Yeah, Tom Brady had to give him the ball, but he had to do something with the ball. He's a running back. He's starting 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage on every play, and he got 4 touchdowns and the game-winning touchdown. Dude deserved to get the MVP, and they wouldn't have done what they did without him. And yet, no, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah, what was it, 2012, 2013? Crawford should have been given for the Blackhawks the MVP for the...
Yeah, and they gave it to Patrick Kane. Yep.
Yeah, for no reason at all. Even though he had, 2 shutouts, and he allowed, 3 points in 6 games?
Yeah, his goals against average was incredible that year, and he should have been the MVP. But they of course, gave it to Patrick Kane because Patrick Kane needed an MVP for some reason.
Yeah, but no, it pissed me off. It ticked me off so much that the commentators are talking about it. The fake AI articles are all written out for everything because people are looking up as a kicker, everyone. And the NFL didn't even freaking bother to include a kicker on the page.
As any Green Bay Packer fan can tell you, kicking is extraordinarily important. They could have been 12-5 this year or better if their kicker could do his damn job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why the Steelers love Boswell. He is the one who kept Tomlin at 9-8. And this year, we improved to 10-7 based off of his leg, baby. I was just so mad. I was like, that level of disrespect is absurd. No, they don't care. It pisses me off. Almost as much as that Comcast commercial did. I hate that commercial.
I refused to watch that Comcast commercial. And then I think I was just making dinner and we had the game on in the background and it came up and my kids go, "Daddy, Jurassic Park." I was like, "What? Why? Bro, no, the Super Bowl." And then as I started walking over, I realized what it was. And I was like, fuck. Which that actually leads me into something that I've been... The fact that Comcast released this commercial ahead of the Super Bowl, with the Super Bowl, whatever, at the Super Bowl, whatever, I find extraordinarily hilarious because for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I've been sitting here in my house thinking, God, of all the shit happening, I did not expect Comcast to be the least controversial or stupid company out there right now. And then they go and do this shit and do a whole weird de-aged Jurassic Park bullshit. It still could be worse. I mean, they're not Paramount. They're not Netflix doing whatever the hell they're trying to do with Warner Brothers. But God, do they really fucking hate Jurassic Park?
You know what makes it even better? Because I watched the behind the scenes. Because of course they released the behind the scenes of how they did it, right? This is a multi-million-dollar commercial. They rebuilt sets. They built that interior of their bunker area, the main room. They got the trucks out. They brought back all 3 of them. They're all hanging out, talking about how exciting it is to be all back together.
Did they de-age or was it just makeup?
No, they de-aged them.
That's some of the worst de-aging I've seen because they all still look like they're in their 60s, 70s, and 50s.
Here's the fun part. It was directed by Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. I think you're getting him confused with Chiquita Banana.
Adele Dazeem, yes. For a 15-year-old reference. But no, the director of Jojo Rabbit, Thor Ragnarok, did this. They brought in the big wigs.
Money laundering. Same reason Danny Villeneuve is not directing the new James Bond. He's just getting money. I don't believe Taika Waititi was there.
Oh, they showed him briefly. I'm assuming CGI'd on set.
Green screen is a wonderful thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, apparently they used the budget to insert him into the behind the scenes because they didn't. What weird... it has to be AI. Just the AI rotoscoping or something, because Spielberg and Disney and Lucas, they can de-age people and it looks pretty damn good. But that looked just miserably waxy weird.
Dunkin' Donuts did a better de-age on Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah.
And everyone in that commercial than Comcast, who has billions of dollars, did.
Oh yeah.
The worst part about that Dunkin commercial is Tom Brady. Like, I don't believe Tom Brady was actually there. I think they just did like a facial scan and they had a body double do some weird eye movements. And then they just like pasted Tom Brady's scanned face over it.
Oh wait, no.
His hair doesn't look real. His face doesn't look real. The only thing that moves are his eyes and his eyebrows. It's weird.
Yeah. I firmly believe Jennifer Aniston was not on set, and neither was Tom. They weren't there. The others were probably on set. I mean, George, that looked great. He looked exactly the same. But then again, when you go bald when you're 20, you look the same until you're about 75.
It's true.
You know, everybody, I laughed. I was like, that's right. Ben Affleck can actually not suck when he wants to. Okay. And, Jaleel White showed up, and I'm like, holy
Jaleel White, yeah.
Yeah.
Urkel, for those who'd need to know.
And I'm like, this is funny. It's relevant. Wow, this is actually amusing as hell. When Jennifer Aniston yanked out Tom, who of course he had to say, "Hi, I'm Tom," I really thought that was going to be Matt Damon to complete the joke of like the whole, hey, the early version of Good Will Hunting was a comedy. And then, I laughed almost as hard at that commercial as I did the Will Shat commercial.
The Will Shat commercial.
William Shatner pimping Raisin Bran. You did not see that one?
No, I legitimately I only watched whatever ads popped up on like my algorithm on YouTube. I didn't watch much of the game. Like I said, I had it on for the Green Day thing, and then it was just kind of on as background noise until we went upstairs at like 7:00, and then Ricky and I watched Shrinking and ReZero.
I've watched that thing to the bitter end, man. I watched to the bitter end. There is a great...
You have more willpower than I do. Is it I shipped my pants?
Basically, what happens is he pops in and says, I'm Will Shat. And they're like, oh, Will Shat on a truck. Will Shat in our living room.
I was just joking. I just wanted to quote the greatest Super Bowl commercial of all time, which if you haven't seen it, please go find Shipped My Pants Kmart.
Yep. But no, it was the same thing. He's like, you can call me Will Shat. And it's like, and then they like cuts like news reporters or something. It's like, Will Shat is appearing everywhere. Will Shat here, Will Shat there. It's like, yeah, it's funny. And it's about, having your fiber. No,
I can dig it. And it makes me think of, I can ship my pants. I can ship my pants right here.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy, you can ship your pants too. I just shipped my pants and it feels wonderful. I just shipped the band.
Yeah. I feel really bad, man, because I watched that thing beginning and end. And if you're a movie fan and you remember the heyday of like the late 90s to maybe 6 years ago, it was so exciting to see like what would drop for a trailer. They would be paying, you would get a full minute or 90-second trailer before trailers became 12 freaking minutes long. And now you get like a 30-second, maybe a minute trailer. And then, of course, half of them are like full trailer online. But now they didn't even do that this year. None of them said full trailer online. All they said was...
They released they coincided. They had like the big game spot, which was that 15 to 30 second spot. And then there was also like an actual trailer. We don't have this in the running order, but I wanted to bring this up real quick. There was like a 10-second Mario Brothers movie ad, Mario Galaxy movie ad.
Yeah,
and it was baby Mario and Luigi playing the Mario theme with Dino Bones on a T-Rex thing because they're doing Mario Odyssey and Mario Galaxy in this one, and a little bit of Yoshi's Island. And I realized, what the hell is Toad doing in this movie? Because in the first trailer we got, he's going off with Princess Peach to go do the Mario Galaxy thing. But in this most recent spot, he's also in the Mario Odyssey thing with baby Mario and Luigi and Yoshi. So it's like Toad just like teleporting between storylines going on. Like, where is Toad in all of this? What is Toad doing in every single story of this movie?
Being the man. Toad's amazing. Or is Toad a girl? Wait, isn't Toad a guy? And then they
Toad's
have like
a boy,
Toadette?
Toadette.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, that's
Toadette
right.
is the girl.
Because Toadette has a little pink bell.
And she's got pigtails.
Yeah. But like it started off and like it was Scream, but it was like the 30-second Scream trailer we've all seen before. Oh yes, horrors come home for Sydney for the 7th time.
Yeah, they're really into that one scene where they're trying to shimmy through the wall and the killer just goes tap tap tap. Oh, hey, this drywall wall is hollow. I wonder what that could mean. It means you're in a house in middle America.
Yeah, they really want to recreate the Matrix scene from like 26 years ago. They're in the wall and they just start stabbing, blasting. Yeah. I mean, hey, if they want to recreate that and have Sydney scream and leap through the wall like Morpheus did and start strangling Ghostface, I'm all for that. But that's not going to happen.
I am really curious as to like what happens in that movie scene where that one body is just swinging around. Like what kind of movie theater has that kind of mechanism lying around?
I don't
and
know.
then there's also the shot that they're really banking on too, where someone's like falling from a banister above them, and Ghostface like rolls over and he has the knife just like sitting over his stomach, like, yeah, fall on me, crush me, but I'm gonna stab you.
I hope that actually happens because this franchise was the perfect age for me because I think it was like 11 when the first one came out or something like that, 10 or 11. And so, it was terrifying for me as a kid. And then as I've grown up, they've tried rebranding it, remixing it, and all this crap. I watched the TV show that was on MTV, the 3 seasons that we had. It's diminishing returns. But the last one made me so mad because the creators had a trilogy idea for 5, 6, 7. And so all the horrible injuries that the main like 3 got, they all just recovered magically from. They're fine. The movie had been like brutal and like getting rid of like, excess new characters and, these horrible deaths. And you're like, oh, wow, who's going to actually survive this one? And then they just pull back like, oh, yeah, I know he was gutted, but he's fine walking around at the end of the film. So they've started completely over with this one again. So we'll see.
It's real Rob Schneider at the end of Judge Dredd vibes.
Oh, yeah, totally. I've got a bank on. They're rebooting Paranormal Activity and they're rebooting Saw again. So
maybe fourth time's the charm.
Oh, yeah. But we can't freaking get Freddy or Jason back.
Audiences are too sophisticated for Freddy and Jason at this point.
Oh, yes, we're so sophisticated now. Instead, we'll just have people running around in sheets with knives instead of hockey masks.
Sophisticated, like not being able to understand a really good joke in the Masters of the Universe trailer, because we talked about Masters of the Universe a little bit a couple weeks ago, but we said there probably will be something with the Super Bowl. Surprisingly, there wasn't.
No.
The internet got into a real big tizzy. I should say certain incel sections of the internet got into a real big tizzy because they didn't understand a fucking joke in this trailer where Adam is sitting at his desk on Earth and he has his pronouns on his name tag that he has on his desk, nameplate, I guess would be the proper word, where it says he, him. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was an incredible joke.
That was a great joke.
It's a great joke. It's a fantastic joke. But of course, because it's pronouns, they have to get all up in man at arms. When his fucking superhero name is a goddamn pronoun.
No. I see. I don't think it's that. Like, I just think it's a great joke because the trailer eventually like says, find out how he became man, which is that too.
It's just a good fucking joke.
Yeah, it's a great joke. Having worked at internet, Silicon Valley internet companies, yeah, like half the people put him in, half the people don't. I wouldn't be surprised if walking through like a corporate office if they have him there. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. And then later on when it says he becomes man, I was like, nice.
Yeah. It's just a good joke. And yet the internet can't allow it to exist as a good joke because God forbid we have fun. This trailer, for the most part, does look like a lot of fun. Like it's got some Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. I think it's a little too glossy, like it was just kind of spat out through an AI filter. Hopefully they clean some of that up. I really hope there is no AI involved in this. They seem to not be leaning in on any Jared Leto, which is great. The Skeletor design looks fantastic. Battle Cat, there's that one shot that they had in the trailer for the trailer where they're coming down from the ship, and you just got the the team shot. It looks on point. And I really hope that the Earth stuff is maybe 10, 15 minutes. But from the looks of it, they're going to pull a little bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy where it's going to be 10 to 20 minutes on Earth. Then we're going to go to Eternia, and then there's going to be some plot device that requires them to save both Earth and Eternia. And no one fucking cares at this point. I'm tired. I apologize for all the extra F-bombs I'm throwing tonight. Like I said, I'm tired. My brain's not fully there. I really wish, like, I guess it's in canon that Prince Adam's mom is actually from Earth, but no one cares about Earth in these movies. I'm not going to see He-Man to watch him save Earth. I'm going to He-Man to watch him fight Skeletor on Eternia. And I'm also really hoping something is going to remind me of my favorite joke from Robot Chicken, where Skeletor and his team are trying to just chop down the oldest tree in Eternia, and He-Man pops into frame looking at the camera and goes, "Trees are one of our most valuable resources." And Skeletor says, "Who are you talking to?" And then He-Man responds with, "Your face," and then punches him right in the goddamn face.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I'm actually excited that the last, like, maybe 6-7 years that they've realized we like comic or cartoon accurate outfits. You know, we finally got Wolverine in the Wolverine outfit. Deadpool's outfit looks great. You know, we had the Galacticus, who actually is just a giant purple man.
Every outfit in Avengers Endgame was comic accurate.
Well, I mean, we never got Hawkeye with his little woo, you know, his little helmet thingy. But
well, he doesn't need the mask. And in the Hawkeye series, he got his purple arrow.
Yeah, he did, and also his bag of trick arrows, which was great. Finally, so I want that. This is exactly what I want out of a He-Man. I want this, like, you know, 20s looking dude to, you know, shout "I have the power" and become a bulky, ripped adult badass guy who's punching blue skeletons in the face, while also his tiger becomes a massive armored battle cat. Give that to me. That is what I bought, Alex, as a kid.
I have good news for you.
Oh.
It's called Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Oh, I didn't actually watch it. Wait, did I?
I'm kidding. No, the tiger doesn't stay around for long.
Oh, I'm sad. I
don't think there are any blue skeletons. There are some unicorns that are skeletons.
Ooh.
And they like Skittles. And they even one of the kids say, "Taste the rainbow." We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the Supergirl spot real quick.
Puppies.
Baby Crypto.
Puppy.
Super cute. They've even released a poster of Baby Crypto with a collar that doesn't quite fit him.
Adorbs.
Love the Crypto design. I'm still really curious as to, like, why Kryptonians are, like, Middle Earth elves, and they're just, like, walking really slowly as their planet's being devoured or exploded. They might be on Kandor when Brainiac's attacking. I'm not sure. But it really just seems strange that they're just like, "I will go to the west, and there I will forever be. Kara Zor-El." Like, okay. Can we move with a little more urgency, please?
One of them says, you know, we're going to the Undying Lands.
We're both Warner Brothers property. It makes perfect sense.
And it turns out that Kal-El is actually Kryptonian for Bilbo. That'd be great. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just lean into it. Let's just fully lean into it. You know, we can have a scene where Lobo is made out of dirt, and that's why his face is white, because of the big hand giving him the palm print of Sauron.
Whom do you serve?
Is this what it's going to be? Is, like, the Superman Supergirl series just going to be leaning on crypto?
I really hope not. I was actually thinking about that today, and as much as I love the Crypto design, it's really cheap to just be like, "Hey, look, cute CGI puppy. Don't you want to see this 2-hour movie that he's going to be in like 20 minutes of because the computer generating him is expensive?"
You mean like the Mando trailer?
So I don't hate the Mando trailer.
I don't.
I've seen a lot of people that either did not understand it or they just outright hated it because it's the internet and everyone hates everything.
Always.
So this is an homage to the 2002 Respect Budweiser ad with the Clydesdales bowing down to the site that had the World Trade Center.
Never forget.
I saw this trailer online because, again, I didn't watch any of this on the actual TV during the game. And I heard Sam Neill? Who's Mustache Man? Sam Neill is Jurassic Park Man, isn't it?
Yes, Sam Neill's Neil Mustache Dude. I don't remember.
Sam Mustache Man. Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott. That's his name.
No, he's Sam the Mustache Man. Tom Selleck.
No, that's Tom Mustache Man. Sam Elliott doing the voiceover ahead of this. I was like, they didn't get this. They didn't get Sam Elliott in here to do a Star Wars. There's no fucking way. And then I realized after probably another 5 or 10 seconds, like, oh, I get it. I know. I see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're referencing a beer commercial in their Star Wars toy commercial.
Because that commercial is old enough to drink.
And then some. It's like 24 years old at this point.
I thought it was, when I realized that it was I thought it was a car commercial at first because, the Sam Elliott thing. And then I was like, wait a second, this is a Clydesdales commercial? And then I was like, those are Tauntaun legs. And yeah, it was cute. It was a cute homage.
The Tauntauns being on 4 legs for a second, that confused me.
That was
like, Tauntauns are bipedal. They're not quadra whatever.
Yeah, but it was cute. My problem with the Mando stuff is that they were leaning hard into this is a Grogu movie. Like,
he's literally
Mando.
taking the reins.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Yep. But yeah, I mean, I'm still hoping that they mix it in well, because even the last season, which I just didn't really like, they still had some grit there. Mando was still able to do his grittiness crap, hoping we don't lose that swagger as much as they, include the shenanigans of, was it Bebo Feck?
Babu Frick. Bad
Babu
baby.
Frick. So no, it was cute.
Don't you dare rip on Babu Frick. He's like the best thing that came out of the sequel trilogy.
I think he's great.
Babu Frick and whatever kind of freak aliens his species are, the Babu Fricks, I don't know that. Sure. Those are like my favorite new things in Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it ends up related to like the worm ones from the Men in Black movies. Similar designs and personalities.
He just needs a pack of cigarettes and some coffee.
Yeah. Wait, what was the joke from the first one? They're like, oh yeah, he's like, you watch out for that one. And he's like, and then the second Jay leaves, they say, we're going to play Twister with you. And I love the look that she gives him of like, what?
So you mentioned losing a step or something to that effect. We got to talk Spielberg's Disclosure Day.
Oh my God.
I would actually be intrigued in this movie if it weren't so overtly AI heavy. Though those animals, there's that one shot from the first trailer with the house and the glowing. And I feel like the house and the glowing. Oh my. It's a really bad impression. I forget who was the nutty professor that wasn't Eddie Murphy?
Jerry Lewis.
Yes, Jerry Lewis.
See, I thought you were doing art from Family Guy, the pharmacy owner.
He's a Jerry Lewis too.
Yeah,
really bad. Not as bad as Disclosure Day looks with all this AI that they just went, hey Spielberg, you're on the decline. No one gives a shit about your stuff anymore. How about you make a big AI commercial for us about aliens? There's some cool stuff in there, like that one shot where they pan behind one guy's head and it goes from, is it Kenneth Branagh into Emily Blunt?
Yeah.
Like that shot's really cool. Like what the hell's happening when their eyes are glowing blue and then they turn back to their normal color? Like there's a lot of really interesting stuff happening here and like good intrigue. But then I see all the AI shit and I'm like, I don't care. No.
This movie just seems so off to me. Maybe it's because they're really leaning into like the sound effect of like the clicking when the aliens or whatever are speaking through them. And because we got that during Alien Earth,
I had that same thought.
I can't take it seriously because it's just the symmetry of them having the same thing. It makes it immediately feel reductive. And yes, I know what Disclosure Day is supposed to mean. It's like this conspiracy theory that, the government's finally going to give us all the disclosure about what we know about aliens out there. And there is rumor, there, of course, people are like, maybe Spielberg would be the one to actually, do it because he did Close Encounters of the Third Kind in the 70s when that was really big. And he had the lead of Project Blue Book was one of his advisors, Hennick. So maybe they're going to use Spielberg to finally release what is happening. The thing that just really ticked me off about this was the end stinger shot that was supposed to get us super hyped was the UFO coming out of the clouds. And I was like, hey, Independence Day.
Mine was Nope.
Yep.
Nope. And I was like, oh, they just took a shot from Nope. And I guess my biggest thing about this film is it's called Disclosure Day. But like everything about it is like more like We're Here Day. Not like, oh, hey, by the way, we're going to acknowledge the existence of aliens. It's more like, oh, hey, aliens are possessing people, or maybe they are aliens and they're sleeper agents and we're awakening them. Like there's a whole level of intrigue of stuff going on here. But at the end of the day, like we know that something weird is happening with aliens because of this whole thing happening with Emily Blunt's character doing the alien Earth clicky mouth things. She learned how to speak Yauten.
Apparently. I'm going to need something more than the little clicks and ambiance. Like, what is this movie actually about? Because if you're giving away aliens, okay, what about it? Is there a war happening? Is there like mass panic? Is this the rapture?
Did you not see the creepy reindeer in the little girl's room?
With the CGI Disney bird hanging out on top of its antlers? Yeah, I don't know.
You mean AI generated bird?
It's trying to build mystery, and there's no mystery for me.
And like the mystery looks dumb at the very least. Because again, like, why is the reindeer in the girl's room? She might have left the door open. I don't know. But it just, the intrigue is not heavy enough because everything surrounding it that they're building up with that intrigue looks bad. And I think another thing is that this movie has already been done better. And I don't want to say that it's without seeing it. Like I legitimately should not be able to say it's bad, but I can probably guess it's not going to be great, especially the visual effects with the AI. But this movie has already been done better. It's called Signs.
Yep. Yeah. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It seems like a very similar thing. One person has like this connection in their head, and this is important, building mashed potato crap or something. I'm going to need something. Otherwise, it is Signs. It is Independence Day.
Yeah, it's Signs and Close Encounters because, and among other things, if you're building intrigue on this stuff, nothing is more damn intriguing than that shot in the cornfield with that alien.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yep.
If you want to have like build suspense, build what is happening, what's going on, and you have that alien just creep across the screen suddenly, like M. Night should have just retired after that shot. Like he peaked. He peaked there.
Yeah. I mean, John Williams is coming back for this film. He needs to stay retired. If he came back for Indiana Jones, he came for Indiana Jones and he's like, this is my last one, I'm retired. And everyone's like, that sucked. And he came back, he's like, I got one more in me, guys. I'm 940 years old, but I got one more in me.
What was his last really memorable score? He didn't even come back for the last few Harry Potter movies.
The original Harry Potter movie.
No, I mean, if anything, I think AI, Artificial Intelligence, might have been his last really great score.
That is such a good one, man.
Although Catch Me If You Can came out after.
Catch Me If You Can was what, 20?
I know he was nominated for Lincoln, but I can't for the life of me remember anything about Lincoln besides Daniel Day-Lewis banging a table. Not in a sexual way.
I was like, context? And I
JD Vance's way deep ancestor.
I'm trying to flip
I shouldn't
through.
imply that JD Vance is related to Abraham Lincoln. The table was, not Lincoln.
Maybe 2005, you had Revenge of the Sith, War of the Warlords,
Oh,
Memoirs of a
yeah.
Geisha, and Munich.
Memoirs of the Geisha.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful
Revenge
score.
of the Sith, definitely.
Yeah. War of the Worlds was good too.
I got to go back to that one. That's one that I remember people have been talking a lot about in recent times-ish as like something that was actually good. I remember not finding it very interesting, but I only saw it the one time with my dad in theaters.
I love it. I think it's a great movie. I think it's has some real darkness to it. I'll never, that scene where they're at the train crossing and you're sitting there in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden the train goes by and it's like completely on fire. Is haunting. As is, they cut away from Tom Cruise fighting that guy in the basement because he realizes that the guy's going to try to like kill his daughter, and they just focus on her, and you hear the sounds and the grunts of the fight and happening off camera as she's trying to cover her ears to not see or hear what's happening. Is great. The only thing the movie lost for me was it's Spielberg. He likes his saccharine. He likes his like hopeful endings, and so having Robbie, I think his name is Robbie, the son, be alive even though he ran onto a battlefield with the tripods, he's alive at the end. That was crap. That should not have happened. But it's good. I think it's Spielberg. He's still at the peak of his powers. Then he still knows what he's doing. I mean, obviously, he still knows what he's doing, but he still knows how to deliver. I think, when you end a movie like that.
On the subject of crap things that shouldn't happen, I guess there was also a trailer for a Brad Pitt Netflix movie that's a spinoff from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my God. The thing that ticked me off so much about this trailer. So you didn't watch it, did you? Or did you?
No.
Okay. So it's very...
Nothing Tarantino comes up on my feed.
It's very stylized. Like it tries to do like a Grindhouse style filter over it. And they try to basically pitch on how edgy it is, because like anytime someone's doing a swear word or there's boobs or someone flipping somebody off, it has like this little, it's not even, they didn't like blur it. They like scratch it with like neon color. So you see how there's like this like neon etch box kind of thing going on with multiple colors. So it's
Sounds
almost
very Suicide Squad.
Yes, it's very Suicide Squad, very comic booky looking. The only reason I knew what it was is because it's Brad Pitt. And I knew that this movie was eventually coming out. And then they finished the trailer, this like hyper violent, edgy trailer by censoring everything. And then it says like coming soon to Netflix. They don't say the name of the movie. They don't say starring. They don't say directed by. They just cut to saying and soon on Netflix.
Coming up next on your Netflix autoplayer.
Yeah.
Remember like 10 years ago when they did the Cloverfield effect or whatever that was? They went
the Cloverfield
immediately
paradox.
after the Super Bowl. Cloverfield paradox, that's right. They like immediately after the Super Bowl, watch Cloverfield paradox. That would have been great if they did that again, because then you know it's going to be quality stuff.
Yeah, that was exciting. It kind of was like, okay, yeah. I didn't watch it because, I'm an old man, and I apparently even like 10 years ago, I'd go to bed like at 9:20.
I legitimately watched it that night, but I like fast forwarded because I was like, I need to go to bed. I was like, I'm going to go to bed, but I'm really curious as to like how this ties in. So I would like fast forward to what looked like maybe exciting parts. And I watched the first like 20 minutes of it because you got to see like how or why things are the way they are. Netflix, grow some balls and put your shit up immediately if you're going to have a Super Bowl trailer like that again.
Yeah. So the movie is called The Adventures of Cliff Booth. It is written by Tarantino, but Tarantino didn't want to direct it.
Because then he hits his mandatory 10 movies and he has to retire forever, and we don't have to hear from him ever again.
Yep. And it's directed by David Fincher.
Didn't he die?
That was David Lynch.
Lynch, okay.
Fincher is 7, Fight Club,
I'm blaming
Panic
my
Room,
pre-sick haze that I caught from watching the Super Bowl for 5 minutes.
Social Network, Gone Girl, that's Fincher. Yeah. I don't care. This is a situation which even though it's David Fincher who has clout, this is a very much not Danny Elfman, Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton. They're like, this is Tarantino's Adventures of Cliff Burton.
Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, but
yeah, ignoring Henry Selick, who actually directed that damn movie. And basically they're ignoring David Fincher, who is
and then every
this.
movie he does afterwards, they're just going to switch, bait and switch people because everyone thinks Tim Burton directed it. It's like, Coraline from the director of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Why not just say Tim Burton? Every audience member ever that doesn't know that Tim Burton didn't actually direct Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep. I have no interest. Tarantino's just never been a director who's hit with me.
Same. I don't care. It's not something we're going to cover for the podcast. I'm not going to subject myself to it. Maybe you can go listen to Antonio and Justin talk about it. I'm sure they will.
Yep.
Something I was kind of surprised by, but we talked a little bit about it with the Mario movie, another Comcast project, which is Minions and Monsters, the third Minions solo movie. There is a small plot hole here, but I don't know if I want to get into it. The Minions, their whole thing is they will serve the most evil person on the planet. This movie, I believe, is set in like somewhere between 1920 and 1940.
Sure.
There's a very obvious most evil person in the world that should be around.
No.
But obviously the Minions aren't going to go there.
If they had balls, they would.
Just like if Tarantino had balls. Or no, Netflix. Netflix is the one who needs balls. Yeah, so like there's a weird thing happening here where they just decided to take a break in that era of history and they wanted to make movies. Which, like, understandable. The silver screen, it's the golden age. It's a brand new frontier, and plus, movie studio executives are pretty evil as well, especially in that era. Now they're just dumb and greedy. The Chibi Cthulhu I found really endearing until I realized they just took the Toad animation cell or whatever character design and just painted the whole head green and gave him the Zoidberg tentacles in the front of the mouth.
Yeah. I think this is it's so hard to hate this damn franchise. Like, it's so easy to want to hate it, but it's so hard to actually hate it.
But it's your aunt's fault for hating it more than it is the franchise's fault, because your aunt is the one sharing all of those Minion memes that have nothing to do with the damn Minions.
Because even now, it's been since the first movie came out, 2015, Despicable Me, is that 2010? Is that when the first one came out?
Somewhere around there, like 2009, 20. I think Steve Carell was still on The Office at that time.
I still can't, when I see something that's like really soft, I'm like, oh, it's so fluffy.
Oh yeah, it's so fluffy is classic. And then, like, have you seen the behind the scenes videos of the woman who does the voice of the Minions? Like, those are adorable.
Oh yeah, it's 2 people, I think. I think it's 2.
I think it's 2 or 3.
Yeah, but they're great. They like just babble at each other. It's adorable. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's I'm going to see it in theaters. Maybe if I can kidnap someone's child, but but otherwise I'll wait for it to drop on Peacock in like 12 weeks.
I mean, that might be one of those movies that you're like, oh yeah, the 45-day window is passed. Why isn't this on here yet? Oh, it's made $7 billion at the box office.
Yep, that's most likely what it's going to be.
A movie that will not make $7 billion, but I want it to do really well. Released like the most spoilery trailer they possibly could have, but like it also, I think, is kind of needed for this project. No pun intended. Project Hail Mary released a very Rocky and Grace heavy trailer ahead of the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know if they released it during the game. It's a really long trailer. I think they just went, hey, people are looking for new trailers during the Super Bowl. We're going to drop it. It's very much kind of showing off how these two characters come together and learn to communicate, which I really wish they would have kept that a secret instead of having that revealed in the trailer. If you are interested in going to see Project Hail Mary, I would say do not watch this last trailer if you are able to not see it, or if you can unsee it. If you have the Men in Black Forget Me Not device. Yeah, otherwise, I'd like, as someone who has read this book, I really dig the trailer and it makes me really happy with a lot of stuff they're doing. But I really wish that they would hold back a little bit to kind of have some surprises along the way with this part of the story.
All right, I just skipped around that trailer, and I am not going to watch it because I actually am excited for this movie. So what happened during the Super Bowl is they gave it about I'm going to say a 45-second little teaser, and it was mostly doing the I'm going to science the shit out of this kind of thing. It was him showing up and he's like explaining to NASA or whoever, like, hey, this is some of the things that I think you guys could do or something like that. And they're like, well, we need a scientist for that. And he's like, what? He's like, okay, cool. Who you getting? And they're like, you. He's like, no. And then
Jack Smackley is back. Wow. I am not a scientist.
And then they had like 15 seconds of quick little montage strapping him into the thing, firing him off. There's accidents, there's some explosions, and there's a rock monster. But looking at the 2-minute and 45-second trailer they dropped, and I skipped through, I'm like, well, that looks spoilery as hell, so I'm just going to back out of this right now.
I mean, people got really mad at the first trailer for spoiling that, but I like I mentioned a while ago, like that's chapter 6 of the book. It's kind of not the emotional, but like the hook of the story is like, oh, two scientists from different planets come together to save their worlds and their stars. How do they do that? Like that's kind of the bigger story, and the ticking clock is saving the stars. So like there's other intriguing stuff going on, but again, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone until we review it. But I think that this has a chance to be really good. I just hope that they don't lean too heavily into some of the more, like they're really trying to play it up as it's The Martian. The Martian was really funny and quippy and charming. Yep. This book at least was not The Martian. He's not narrating to a camera. He's documenting things.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has to send the data back to Earth because they have a way to set up that they can send some unmanned crafts back ahead of him to get there. So they'll have like an extra year or two with time dilation and traveling faster than light. So like, I understand why they're doing it. It is technically kind of built into the story, but it's more just kind of implied that he's doing it than it is overtly moments within the story where he's talking to the audience through the book or whatever.
Mm. You said it's this trailer spoilery, so we should avoid it because I'm excited about this movie. We're definitely watching this for the podcast. How shocked were you reading the book when you found out that this was a stealth sequel to Galaxy Quest?
I mean, the signs were there. I just really was not looking for them at the time, but having looked back on it, they're all right there.
I mean, his name is literally Rock. I love Galaxy Quest so much, and that's what I was like briefly going through. I was like clicking, and then they show like what Rocky fully looks like briefly. I was like, oh crap, and then I went in my head. I just heard Rock.
Do you like Tarantino? You can tell us we're bad people over in the Discord. Alex, let everyone know about the Discord.
We'll ban you for saying you like Tarantino by clicking the link below at tsmackpod@gmail.com, which is, and also the link is to our Discord. You can have polite conversation and with people. Matt will probably forgive you for liking Tarantino, not me. I'm going to hit that ban hammer.
I don't know if we'll necessarily ban you just for liking Tarantino, but if you're a dick about it, maybe we will.
24-hour timeout.
So if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I think the tired and wearing out is finally hitting me. No, come on. There we go. That's what it needs to do. I clicked the button and it didn't hit the button. The button didn't button.
This is why we need to go from buttons to knobs.
man, if only. But then you have the tourney thing. To quote Eddie Izzard, you have the tourney thing, but the tourney thing lies. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for letting us talk sports for about 15 minutes, because we really need to get some of that off our chest as two guys who really enjoy sports. I know a lot of comic book people, movie people, sports ball isn't your thing, but we're nerds of all kind. We like being nerds about movies, we like being nerds about, we're jack of all trades, masters of none. That's our thing. Let us indulge in sports every once in a while. But thank you if you're still sticking around. We will timestamp if you want to skip around. Follow us on social media, Talking Smack Pod, on Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube. Email us at tsmackpod@gmail.com. Thank you to Leo Allen for our musical themes, Beppo for our original avatars, Retro Studios for our Ricky avatar. Please like, subscribe, rate, review on your podcatcher of choice. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sticking through the sports talk. Thank you for sticking through all this. I am very tired. Alex, how tired are you?
I'm sick and tired of the damn NFL. The NHL playoffs start soon, thank God. The Olympics
Stanley Cup playoffs are fantastic.
Yep. Oh, the Olympics are about, which is nice. Yeah,
Olympic hockey's really good too.
Yeah, and hey, the players can play it this year finally. It's been 12 years.
About time. Well, there's something else people should be watching. What is that?
Watch the Star Trek, the original series.
Who loves T-Smack?
I love T-Smack. Is it true? Mm-hmm. I do. Ooh.
Watch the original series. I don't know how to do a Shat.
We'll shut the truck.
Join the Discord. Send us your best Shat.